And here we are once again with another very special episode and movie review. And yeah, tonight's is an episode that I have been thinking about for quite some time. Anticipation maybe isn't the correct word to use. Maybe more like anxiety. Dread, that's a good one to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to blue balls the homies too much because this is a new movie review, and I know you guys want to cut right to the chase on these type of episodes. However, you have to give me time to process whatever the fuck I just saw.
Yeah, I mean, I think the homies know by now that there will be a cold open.
Right.
And the thing I like about the cold open is it means that every episode could be for you. Yeah. Like maybe you're not super interested in Venom. Maybe you just want to know what the homies are up to.
Right.
And we're here to deliver that.
Every time.
Every damn time.
Yeah. Every damn time. So, something Venom adjacent, it has been confirmed that Tom Holland will begin shooting Spider-Man 4, apparently, I believe it was next March.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's big. That's exciting.
I'm hyped. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, I think that this is a great time for them to put this out. A lot of people were really worried about Marvel having the star power going into the end of Phase 5 and through Phase 6. And I think that, like Tom Holland Spider-Man, I think they haven't confirmed this, but it seems like the news that Disney and Marvel, or that Disney and Sony have a new agreement outlined. It seems like those rumors were true. Maybe not about the details, but at least there is a deal.
Okay. What do you think is in that deal, or what do you want to be in that deal?
Well, the rumor for the deal was that his appearance in Doomsday was covered under the old deal because he has one more team-up movie. Spider-Man 4, 5, and 6, Secret Wars, and I think the rumor was for 2 additional team-up projects that were unannounced or unnamed. So, in total, we'd be talking about 6 films, 3 MCU, 3 Spider-Man. I mean, the Spider-Man movies would be in the MCU, but you know what I mean. 3 Spider-Man movies, and then 3 movies that are team-ups of some kind, and Doomsday would not be included in that because it's covered under the existing deal.
They're going to have him doing it until he's fucking 90.
Till he's fucking 90.
Until fucking 90.
Well, it was funny. He did an interview recently. I don't know who it was with, but he was talking about how he started, or I guess he signed his first contract to play Spider-Man when he was 18, and now he's like 28. And so,
is he really?
Yeah.
He still looks.
He still looks like he's 16.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think he's going to look like that for... and then one day, magically, he'll just look old as fuck for no reason.
Well, the secret to that, Brendan, is he actually consumes a bag a day of the Spider-Man Dick and Nips.
It's the red and blue variety pack.
Yeah.
And they're gooey on the inside.
Right.
Yeah.
Are there Venom on the inside?
No, that
is a different flavor.
Yeah, entirely.
No. Yeah. See the bag. It's like those mixed Dorito flavors that they used to do back in the day. Like the bag has like half cherry and then like half blueberry.
Like the Captain Crunch, Oops All Berries.
More or less.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Anywho, yeah, so he has signed a new deal, and I was surprised during that interview that I saw Tom in where he was speaking on just the longevity of playing Spider-Man and how much he enjoys it. I wasn't surprised that he enjoyed it. I was surprised that he still seemed enthusiastic to continue to play Spider-Man.
Because it seemed like for a little while there that might not be the case.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a recurring thing, maybe not exclusively with Marvel, but, Marvel is the only franchise in movies where you've got 30 films and like 20 shows and, whatever. Those aren't the exact numbers, but where you have this, recurring cast where, like Colby Smulders, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, we were sad to see her go. Spoilers for Secret Invasion. I know you didn't watch that shit. But, like, she played Maria Hill, like, 6 times, and that's, like, a side character.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't happen in a lot of other franchises. I'd say in the majority of other franchises, you don't have that kind of longevity. So, I think right after Far From Home, which had to have been an excruciating filming, like, rigorous film schedule, you know, and they did all kind of on location shoots and everything for that. They had all the stuff where they had to keep, you know, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire being in it, you know, under wraps. He seemed like he was tired after that. Also, you got to think, he went from filming No Way Home, immediately jumped into filming Infinity War and Endgame, and then went right into filming No Way Home.
Yeah, Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Yeah.
And then Infinity, Endgame, No Way.
Wait, right. No. See, so I'm out of order on that. Mm-hmm. They filmed Infinity War and Endgame, and then he went right into Far From Home. Yeah. And then he had a short break, and then No Way.
That's right. Far From Home was after.
It was right after Endgame. Yep. But they filmed Infinity War and Endgame in like 2016, 2017.
Yeah, because...
They filmed them all together.
Yeah. I mean... They probably actually filmed a little bit earlier than that because Infinity War was out in 2018. Yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
They were filming probably in 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably 16 and 17. I think they shot for 9 months.
And that's a long shoot.
That is a long shoot.
Yeah. Man. And I always think about movies like that for those kind of long shoots. If you're someone like Chris Hemsworth or someone who like you're a body guy in the industry, and it's like a lot of these actors get in that kind of shape for the 3 to 6 month window that they need to look like that in.
Right.
And so it's just I know it's got to be
Hugh Jackman in that ab scene from Deadpool. He had to starve himself and dehydrate.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman probably like the way that they have it sorted out is not unlike bodybuilders. Where like they probably look like that for all of 7 hours, and they have to time that shit perfectly. Yeah, and
they get that vascularity right.
And it's just got to be fucking hell, you know.
Oh yeah, it's not good for you at all. As much as they look like it's good for you,
it's terrible for you.
It's fucking horrible.
Yeah, but back to Tom Holland though. It seems like he's gonna have another 6 more appearances?
Yeah.
And I have a lot more money.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, and you got to think, at the end of that Spider-Man contract, he's the second one, right? Well, I guess it's technically the third one. Because originally, I want to say the deal ended before Infinity War, right? Wasn't the original deal just for Spider-Man and Civil War and another Spider-Man movie? But
wow, okay, so I'd imagine that when they made Civil War, they already knew that they were going to do Infinity War and Endgame. I imagine they had to have had in mind Spider-Man for those 2 films.
Well, I know this is the second deal.
Yeah. And
the last team-up movie he was in was Infinity War and Endgame.
Right.
So you had to think, like, because, there was a whole story that Tom Holland, like, called Bob Iger personally, because they weren't going to make a deal. Because Sony wanted the original deal in place, the first deal, which was essentially that Disney paid for everything.
Oh.
Because they were just trying to get Sony on board. Because when they did Homecoming, Disney footed the entire bill for that shit.
Jeez.
And then they got their money back, and then Sony got all the profit. That was, like, Disney didn't technically make anything off of that.
Oh, that's hell.
Yeah, and so the deal was that Disney was going to get their money by having Spider-Man in the team-up movies.
I see.
And then Disney was like, no, dog, like, we're bringing so much more value to this than you guys could ever do on your own. And so then they had a second deal put into place, and that's the one we're working off of now. So this will be his third Spider-Man contract. When it ends, he's not even going to be 40.
Yeah. No, he won't. Well, yeah, he won't even be 40. He did speak about the potential of bringing in Miles Morales and how he like to do for Miles what like RDJ did for him, you know. And I mean, yeah, I think that's kind of where his arc would maybe have to leave off when that day comes. But then you have to think, does that mean we have to wait another 8 years or so for Miles Morales? And
I don't think so. I think they introduce, like, if they're smart, right? I mean, and Tom even said this himself. He wants to bring Miles Morales in. He wants to do for somebody what RDJ did for him.
yeah,
You know, Tom wants to use his star power to elevate the next Spider-Man, which would be Miles Morales. And you got to think, by the time Tom Holland is 37, 38, whatever, how many kids are going to be grown adults in kind of the same situation that we're in, right? Where it's like, okay, the Batman animated series was like the first time we like really got into like Batman on the screen, or Batman 89.
yeah,
How many kids are going to be sitting in those theaters watching a live action Miles Morales come to fruition that their first introduction to Spider-Man was Spider-Verse?
yeah. And that is a possibility. I guess that just kind of goes back to what I was saying, though. That still puts Miles at being about 7, 8 years away.
Well, yeah, unless they introduce him in this film.
It's a possibility.
I guess it's a possibility. I don't know if I would do it that soon.
I think I would introduce maybe the very basic concept of Miles. Like, he doesn't have powers yet.
Yeah.
Maybe you just cast the actor and have him in the movie in a very minor role, right? Establish that, like, him and Peter are friends or whatever. Something like that.
Or have a scene with Donald Glover.
No, why?
I've already introduced that character. Why not have like a small scene off, you know,
Of him as the Prowler, you mean?
No, as a Prowler, or
As him as
just an offshoot
you mean
scene.
as the uncle, or just
Just the uncle, just actually them, but they tie into some kind of scene with Spider-Man somehow.
I'm confused as who Donald Glover is playing in this scenario.
Yeah, as the Prowler.
As the Prowler.
Yeah.
When I said the Prowler, you said no.
I thought you meant like in full costume.
Oh,
my
no,
bad.
no.
Like
Okay.
as like full suit up Prowler mode.
I was like, I think we've missed the boat on Donald Glover being able to be Miles.
No. Of course, we don't need no 50-year-old.
Is Donald Glover old?
No.
He's got to be older than Tom Holland, right?
Oh, he's a lot
Yeah.
older than Tom Holland.
I think Donald's like 41 or 2.
Yeah, he's in his 40s.
Yeah.
That'd
be
It's not
hilarious.
close.
It'd be hilarious. Tom Hanks is Miles Morales.
Miles Morales. What the fuck?
Matthew McConaughey.
Oh no.
No, he's gonna be busy. He can't.
He's got to be Victor.
Yeah, he's gonna be busy doing his Victor Freeze stuff.
Yeah,
Hey,
both y'all can fuck right now.
So before we get into the review, we obviously we got to do Agatha and Penguin soon.
We do.
You haven't seen either of those, right?
No.
So yeah, we're not going to do any spoilers here, but I figured I'd ask. You have only seen Penguin?
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Just overall, just kind of thoughts about that.
I thoroughly enjoy this show.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I think it's very well done. I love the story that they're laying out here. I love that they're using like all the characters from the Long Halloween and just kind of bringing them to the big screen. So for a lot of these characters, it's kind of their first time. Like we've seen Maroni and Falcone several times,
right?
But like as far as like the other family members, like Sophia, Alberto, Johnny Vitti, like I think that this is our first time seeing a lot of those characters at all on the big screen or on the screen.
The casting is chef's kiss.
Yes.
I don't think I think it's going to be hard for anybody to play Sophia Falcone on screen.
Oh yeah.
After this actress.
Yeah.
Wow, she is incredible.
Agreed. And again, we don't need to get into spoilers here, but I'm just curious. Do you have any kind of speculations about Theo Rossi's character? Theo Rossi, he plays he's like the psychiatrist for Sophia.
Oh yeah. I love that guy in pretty much everything that he's in.
You can't trust that motherfucker in nothing he's in.
No, he always is like insanely shady. The guy that's playing Johnny Vitti's the same way.
Yeah.
Like you can never trust that motherfucker.
Typecast.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, man. I'm really just I'm interested to see what they're going to do with him. I hope it's not a letdown. Mm-hmm. But you have to assume that Matt Reeves has some kind of plan for him. Have they actually said his name? Like his whole name?
They have.
Okay. And it's not like a notable.
It is not.
But that doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything, though.
Yeah.
I mean, so he very well could be someone notable.
He was so good at Shades.
He was, right? That's what I think of him in too, from like Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really good actor though. But yeah, Brennan, so you should catch up. You got some stuff to watch.
Oh, my backlog is like a mile long. I've got to just add it onto the list. Well, it's on priority, but
okay.
Well, we blue balls them long enough. I think we should get into the introductions, and then I'll read the rules.
All right. So with that being said, proper introductions are in order. Homies, one and all, I would like to welcome you all back to a very special episode and review of the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and tonight, whenever you're listening to this or watching this, I have here with me someone who may have the rights to earn back their homie title, depending on how they behave, and depending on if they can speak clearly into the microphone. Only time will tell. I have here next to me, maybe soon to be reinstated, the homie Brendan.
Hello. How's it going?
All right, we'll work on that. And then of course, as always, I have with me my illustrious co-host, the best dressed man in any room he steps into.
The drip is real.
He drips always. The drip and he walks with the swag. I'm talking about the homie Caleb.
I'm glad you got this carpet in here because otherwise we would need a mop.
It might leave a stain though.
Guys, gals, and binary pals, welcome back. We are here tonight to talk about Venom. My headset here tried to interrupt my drip, and I will refuse to let it.
Could not have that.
Couldn't have it. The hat probably looks ridiculous. I haven't seen it, but it goes with my outfit, so I had to keep it. You understand. So getting into it here, we are, of course, here to review Venom, The Last Dance. We're going to just call it Venom 3. Because that title was entirely undeserved, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But if you haven't seen the movie yet, have no fear. The first half of this review will be completely spoiler-free. We will then have a little intermission where we will kind of probably bullshit anywhere from a little bit to a lot of bit. And then we will go full balls deep into the spoilers, and the thing about going balls deep is you can't go any deeper than that.
As everyone knows.
I think Yoda said that.
It sounds like it was either like Yoda or Gandalf.
Yeah, or like Aristotle or
someone very prolific.
Originally, Shakespeare said it.
I see.
Yeah. Well, no, because he actually got it from Socrates. So I mean, it kind of goes on. Yeah,
it's a saying as old as time.
Of course, yeah. Everyone knows. I think it actually goes all the way back to like the first man. It goes back to like Adam. He's like, and he figured out like, once you go balls deep, you can't go any deeper.
Can't go any deeper than that.
Yeah. And that's how we got.
That's why you got the. That's why you got the woman. Whoa, man.
Okay. We haven't even got to the review yet, so I don't know how the fuck we got this far off basis. But yeah, homies. So before we get too far into things, the maybe soon to be reinstated homie Brendan, he brought a nice looking prop here today. He has hold it up for the homies so they can see it.
Oh, they can't see it.
Yeah, there you go. So they can see it better. How about that?
It's like a bust of Venom himself.
Yeah, it's a popcorn bucket. You put the popcorn in there and you stick your arm in his mouth.
Is this the Regal popcorn bucket for this movie?
Yep.
I like how the crazy popcorn buckets have just taken off after Dune.
You got the Venomized cup.
I love that Dune just set off this like chain reaction where every movie now has its own popcorn bucket. Yeah, I need to bring my Deadpool one.
You should. The Deadpool one is a really interesting one. Yeah. I like that one.
The Wolverine with the big
No, it's a car seat. and it has a little baby Deadpool.
Yeah, I ordered that one
in the car seat, and the back opens up, and you can put your popcorn in there, and then the back of the car seat itself, you fill that up with whatever beverage you want, and there's a straw that goes down there.
I haven't.
So you just have the little baby Deadpool in your lap.
Did you see the head pull one?
Yes, I did.
I kind of wanted that one as well, but we don't have an AMC anywhere around here, so...
Let me tell you, I miss living near an AMC.
Yeah.
I miss that being my normal theater for 2 reasons. Number one, their A-lister program is amazing, and I used to just go watch movies in the Dolby all the time.
Is that like the unlimited thing?
Yeah, you pay like $21 a month, and then
that's a good deal.
You get 3 movies a week.
Oh, nice.
And it doesn't matter. Like, you can... it includes IMAX, Dolby Theater, which Dolby is better, and all that stuff. And you also get like your own concession line. This is not a AMC advertisement, not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
But yeah, it was awesome. I missed that shit.
You get your own line.
Yeah, you have
That's
your own
fucking baller.
dedicated concession line because you don't have to stand in line with the plebs.
I don't think Regal does that shit. Like, they have an unlimited card. But you don't get your own fucking line.
You can't have a designated concession line if there's only one fucking person working at concession.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Regal is also not a sponsor.
Obviously.
I know that you guys are just absolutely enamored with hearing us talk about concessions. But perhaps we should talk about this movie. Venom, The Last Dance. Yeah, so this is... assumedly the last movie in a trilogy of movies, the last of the Venom movies. And so here we are, and we're just going to go ahead and start things off by ripping the bandage off. I want to know your spoiler-free, vague overall thoughts. What did you guys think about this movie?
Brendan, this is your deal. You kick it off.
You're the Venom guy here.
Well, I'm trying to see what I can say without spoiling the movie. I always enjoy the banter and the humor between Venom and Eddie. A lot of dumb hijinks, a lot of stupid jokes here and there. One thing that did catch me off guard is, like, more than normal is kind of the weird kind of dialogue that they had, like, with the other characters. Like, I don't know if y'all noticed, it was just kind of, I don't know, a lot more cartoony with the other characters and the other... maybe it's just me. I don't know.
No, I get what you're saying.
What they were saying was like very obvious things, like very expositional kind of...
it doesn't feel like a real conversation.
Yeah. It was just like very for the movie.
It's
like,
not a conversation that 2 people would have.
No.
I mean, with that being said, Brendan, did you like the movie?
Yes, I did. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, as they always are for me. At least for me. I know a lot of people don't like them. I like the characterization that they have of Venom himself and Eddie. I like their relationship. You'll get to the ending later. Later was kind of... the ending was mixed for me.
Okay.
Okay, so let me explain how 2024 has gone for me in terms of cinema. Dune 2 was amazing.
Lord.
And then I thought Madam Web would be awful, and it was awful. I thought Twisters was going to be awful, and it was awful. I thought Beetlejuice 2 was going to be awful, and it was awful.
You didn't like it?
No, it was dreadful.
Really?
I thought Joker 2 was going to be awful, and it was fucking awful. I thought that this movie was going to be awful, and it was fine. I actually...
the one movie that you were dreading the whole year.
Yeah. I actually I think that it is the best of the 3. This movie felt like it at least had a purpose. I also like that they get right into it, right? There's a very brief kind of, typical superhero thing. You have to have a scene at the beginning of the movie that just shows off how badass the superhero is. And then they roll right into it. And I appreciated that. Out of the 3, if I have to sit down and watch one, it would be this one. Don't mistake that for me loving it. I don't even know if I would
marathon?
say what
Marathon?
no.
No.
And as a matter of fact, I don't know if I even really want to say that I like this movie, but it was okay. I didn't hate it by any means. It didn't do. There were a few scenes in it where I just kind of looked over at you like, what the fuck are we doing here? But I never looked over at you like, is something going to happen in this movie? Like I did 90 minutes into Joker 2.
There's a lot of things that happen.
So,
That's for sure.
It entertained me, and I would watch it again. I mean, maybe not like anytime soon, but it didn't do anything that like really angered or pissed me off or completely insulted my intelligence. Other than maybe some travel arrangements. We'll get into that.
Yeah. Caleb, I think I'm right there with you. This movie is like it's like pizza, or it's like day and a half old pizza, or mid-sex. I could have been doing something else, but I'm not upset that I spent time with this.
Right.
You know? Like I can think of some other things I could have did with that various allotted amount of time. I'm not going to roast myself here on the podcast. But also, it's like, this is fine. This is good. And that's what this movie was for me. Like, it was mid-sex, you know? It was like, yeah, like I had a nice time, kind of, compared to what I thought I was gonna have.
Well, and let's go, with that analogy a little bit. Mm-hmm. I would even go so far as to say it's like, okay, the first time that I hooked up with this person, it was not great. And then the second time,
for a second.
The second time was not great, but it didn't last as long. So I wasn't that mad about it. And then this time it was like, okay, somebody stepped the game up.
Yeah.
Got that practicing.
Yeah.
The bar was low.
The bar was low.
And then it was exceeded.
Right. You learned a few tricks.
That is actually very apt. A very apt description.
Yeah, I was like, your metaphor here is actually
it's kind of on point, right? And so that's what Venom 3 was for me. At no point did I ever really think, oh my gosh, this is just fucking atrocious. I can't believe I'm sitting here watching another terrible Venom movie. This movie, unlike its two predecessors, felt like it had an actual through line. Like there was something that the movie wanted to do and accomplish. I thought that the xenophage was actually a very good threat for Venom in this movie. It was played off so much better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, if you watch the trailers, the xenophage, they just look, like a fucking random alien creature thing that Venom's going to have to fight. But they are actually quite formidable and quite threatening. And so they do an interesting job of combining elements from several different Venom comic books from over like the past 30 years. And they kind of use different elements to kind of make a makeshift story that is not complex by any means, but it doesn't shit on anything also, if that makes sense. So I thought that this movie was fine. And yeah, it's definitely the strongest of the three. I can't say the words I just said about those other two movies.
Right, no, definitely not. And I agree with you. Like a random, completely CGI kind of villain, it's really hard to pull that off. But I thought that the way that they did it in this was very effective. Mm-hmm. And I would say that to have a creature like that they kind of had to go with a bit of the horror movie treatment.
Yeah.
You have this creature that doesn't speak, mm-hmm. that's got a singular purpose. It's more of a force of nature than a character. And
a lot more bestial. And
you have to put your characters in situations where they have to avoid that. I thought that was well done. I mean, I thought it was probably just about as well as you could do in those circumstances.
Brendan, what do you think of the xenophage here?
I had kind of still mixed feelings about it. I don't remember if I remember seeing that in the comics at all. Like I remember, like I'm just now coming back from going through the actual King in Black and Absolute Carnage and all that.
If you're looking for like stuff from the King in Black run in this movie, you get. I mean, spoiler alert: you see Noel.
That's it.
And he references the Codex.
It's a codex. Yeah,
that's about
all you get.
Okay.
Well, and he has the sword.
He does. Yeah. There is a moment where you do see the all black, and
for like a nanosecond.
The little bit that you do see of Noel, I'll go ahead and say this. I thought that he looked pretty fucking cool.
He does. He looks like Noel.
He looks like Noel.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Warcraft universe at all, but he gave me major Arthas vibes. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that at all.
No.
Well,
I know the Lich King.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Arthas is the Lich King.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough.
So you were not completely sold on the Xenophage.
It was kind of odd. It just kind of seemed like a generic alien thing that just. I wish they had pulled more from actual Marvel or like used actual reference instead of just making some generic scary alien
they,
that like
they are from the comics.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay, then never mind. I've not.
That's the character.
That is very simple.
Yeah, you see how
very Noel.
How it's giving those vibes.
Yeah.
And he also has a ancient fucking terrible sword.
It's almost.
I will say this, and this, I'll save it for the spoiler section. I was gonna say what they didn't do with Noel that I wish they would have, but I'll say that for the spoiler filled section.
Yeah,
but I want to say I have. Like the name Xenophage did sound familiar, so I have heard it somewhere. I'm just not familiar with what.
Well, you haven't played Mass Effect, right?
No,
because it's definitely in that.
Is it?
Okay. Oh yeah. It
Maybe it's just a common name that's just used for.
Yeah.
For a lot of different
it's a virus in. In that.
Okay, that might be where I've heard
plague.
it. I don't know.
Yeah, they. I think they were back in like. If you look at like that volume 1 Venomnibus that I have, like they are in there, like maybe in like the midway point in like that run there. So, and again, I don't remember them having a huge arc in the comic books, and that's why I kind of rolled my eyes when the trailer for this movie first came out, and I saw that they were going to use those creatures. I'm like, okay,
because like. King in Black, he sent out the dragons, the symbiote dragons.
Yeah,
which, I mean, that's cool in itself. But
it all depends on if they go back to the Noel well in the future, which again we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, let's talk about the star of the show here. What you guys think about Eddie and Venom?
Ooh. They were far less annoying than they were in the second movie. Mm-hmm. And I have to say that while I don't consider this a spoiler, like Venom cracks a fuck ton of jokes the same way he does in the first movie and the second movie. If you're looking for Venom to tone his humor down at all, or his need to be overly campy and cartoonish, that is not going to happen. But I will say that the relationship between Eddie and Venom is done the best here of the trilogy, I think. You actually get this idea of camaraderie with them without them fighting like a married couple for half of the movie and then just being like, oh, well, we're going to die if we don't stop being bitches. So we should do that. Yes, I'm looking at you, Venom 2. I actually... I've never liked the way that Tom Hardy plays this character. The way that he changes his voice to be Eddie, where he kind of adds almost like a little lisp to it, just a tad.
Yeah.
It annoys me. I don't like it. Like, I get that that's how he chose to interpret the character.
Right.
But I just don't like it. I also don't like the way he fucking walks as Eddie.
He was. I don't know if that's just because he was drunk.
He did the whole movie, though.
He was drunk the
He
most.
always walks like that in these movies.
It's something
Did he
about
do
him.
that in the other ones?
Yeah, he walked like that in all of them.
It's something about his physical presence in these movies where he has these weird mannerisms that I just don't understand them.
I think he wants to have, like, to me, it's always come off as like he's always very paranoid and anxious. Like, there's no such thing as relaxing for him. Like, he is constantly, just hyper aware of everything and on edge. And I think he comes across as that well, but I just feel like, like, get on some medication, my guy. Like, you've been having a panic attack for a solid year.
Right.
Like, can we do something,
For sure.
Panic attack for
Because that is what it is. Like, I can probably count the frames in all 3 movies on one hand where the man isn't sweaty.
Yeah.
He's constantly worried.
You might have a point there.
Yeah, he's worried, stressed, and sweaty.
Yeah, like his knees are weak and
He's
his
gonna have
palms
a
are sweaty all the time.
God damn it.
Constantly.
Like, he seemed like he could have a stroke at any minute.
And this isn't anything that's particular to this movie, but just to the trilogy in general, and that is, how come with Riot or with Carnage, their hosts don't have that same relationship with their symbiote? Their symbiote just seemed fucking dull in comparison.
Carnage, I wouldn't say, like, kind of with the comics, he is Cletus for the most part. Okay. From what I remember.
Okay, the problem is the movie doesn't know that.
Yeah, the movie doesn't ever.
What do you mean?
Like, in the movie, it comes across to me that Carnage completely takes over. Like they don't seem symbiotic to me in two. Riot,
There was they went back and forth with that shit with me in the second movie, which is why I really did not like how they handled Carnage in the second movie.
I forget Riot exists a lot.
I mean, Riot should have been Carnage in the first movie.
Yeah, because
you shouldn't do Carnage in your first movie.
Well, who are they going to do?
I'm always the
Spider-Man?
one. Yeah. Actually,
Gee, I don't know.
I don't know.
yeah. How about actually?
Yeah.
I to me, Riot is
Spider-Man?
always the one he fought in the first movie.
Yeah.
He's the gray one.
The gray one, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Venom 1, the gray one. Venom 2, the red one. Venom 3, there's a bunch.
the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So I do like that there does seem to be like a sense of growth to their relationship here between Eddie and Venom. And that is nice to see, because I can see a version of this movie where they're just the same, doing the same shit they've been doing.
And I would have hated that.
Same.
Yeah, I was not annoyed by them here. I was actually interested in the relationship here.
Mm-hmm. Really?
And they actually, I dare say, made me care about the characters.
I think so.
And that was the first time that I ever gave a fuck about either of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. Like,
I'm actually surprised by that.
But in terms of these movies, yeah, like this is definitely the one that they bothered to do any kind of character development with fully. And I feel like they dropped the ball. Honestly, this goes back to the first movie. Like, the way that, we feel about how they wrap things up with this one, imagine how much better it would have been if in the first one, Eddie Brock had been a dick. If he had been an asshole. If he had did terrible shit. And then over the course of the trilogy, you see him and Venom both kind of evolve and grow.
I mean, I agree.
That would have made this finale even more impactful, I think.
Yeah, I agree. The way Eddie acts is definitely not, like, too close to how he is in the comics.
No.
He's a lot more bumbling, a lot more, a lot more anxious, and a lot more paranoid. Eddie's a lot more calm and cool in the comics, for the most part.
Yeah.
Until,
And he's a dick, you know. Even when he's a good guy, he's a dick. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have his shit together. That's the only similarity really that they have between like the movies and the comics is that Eddie doesn't have his shit together.
He does not have very good self-esteem in the comics. Like at least down the road, he does not. He thinks he's a failure. He thinks he's a loser. You know.
Yeah, but you know, like the road to get there to when he can finally admit that to himself is a journey in and of itself.
True, you know? But you had 30 years to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have. I do wish they would have. Made Eddie a little bit more edgier, a little bit more, you know.
Just have him grow into the hero they forced him to be from the first one.
You know what I wanted is that mullet and the Venom jacket.
Oh, okay. We don't need to go super 90s with this.
No, super 90s all the way.
Oh, God. We can talk a little more about this part in the spoiler section, but anybody else feel like they were like, we paid Tom Hardy an ass to be in this movie, and so we need him in every single camera shot?
Boy.
Like, even to the point where they made the plot kind of to where that had to happen?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I would have liked more Venom. Less Eddie, for the most part.
There's a lot of Eddie in this movie.
There is.
That would be one small complaint I have.
Yeah, and they try to give you an explanation as to why you don't get a whole lot of Venom in this movie, and
it's not as bad as like Iron Man 3.
No,
yeah, no, it's not like that.
No, this is a way better film than Iron Man 3.
Yes,
yeah, that's true. There are some similarities, but this is a way
better done.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I really hate that part in the middle of the movie where they like jet off to like Wyoming or whatever, and there's snow, and then they have like a Christmas thing, and then they go back to the main plot. I really hate that part. That doesn't happen.
Well, it's funny because like they do travel, and there is a Christmas reference. And
there is, that's true.
There is a weird Christmas reference, and I was like, is that a callback to something? Or I was
gonna lie. I mean, I was gonna like. I can't lie. I didn't know if that was like from the. Like, did they pull that from somewhere?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, I don't remember anything that have to do with that just in the comics at all. Or that character. Did she have a name? What was her?
I don't remember.
See, that is Jessica Jones and Luke Cage's kid. You know, Sweet Christmas.
Sweet. If I could hand out homie inspiration points,
for
I
real,
think that would be one.
That's pretty good.
That
should be a character.
There you go. You get it.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah, that's right.
I just can't turn that in later for anything.
Just turn it into the homie committee, and then they'll reimburse you.
Man, I can't talk to them.
Oh man, yeah. I dug that they had a through line and that they had some kind of focus as to what they wanted to do. I feel so bad because I've talked about this particular gentleman in several movies, and I can never pronounce his goddamn name.
Rex?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I can never remember his name.
The actor who played Rex Strickland.
And he's Mordo in the...
And he's Mordo and
which is kind of weird because...
Well, Rhys Ifans...
Yeah.
He played the lizard
and he's literally in... Yeah, Rhys Ifans is in this movie, and he literally is the lizard.
Oh, shit, that was him, wasn't it? I knew he looked familiar.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So, like, that completely destroys...
The Andrew Garfield.
This ongoing kind of internet-driven thing where, you know, the concept is that all of the Sony movies are in the Amazing universe.
Yeah, like...
His
Spider-Man is Andrew Garfield.
While that would have made sense, it's not the case.
No, and also that would also mean Andrew Garfield has the laziest fucking Spider-Man because he should have showed up for all of this shit.
I would push back because this Venom has always been in San Francisco.
Yeah, he's across the other side of the country.
And Spider-Man's broke, dog. How you gonna get over there?
That's true. Like,
he's gonna swing over there?
There ain't no webs after in the web tube after a certain part.
Gonna web swing off the clouds?
But he definitely should have showed up for Madam Web.
He would have been a child of Madam Web.
I thought he wasn't born.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, wasn't he not born? I forgot
about the time period thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know where Morbius took place.
Vulture shows up. So
Yeah, I was gonna say at a bare minimum, he
That's
probably
true.
should have been concerned about the motherfucking Vulture showing up.
Yeah, like the vampires. Maybe he decided to leave the vampires to Blade.
the
Yeah.
Vulture
Yeah.
does the multiverse teleport.
He like picks up the phone. He's like, I'm sorry, what? They're vampires? Not my department. You had to call Blade.
Call Blade.
Yeah.
But then Morbius had his own bag of worms. Remember, during the trailer for Morbius, they showed a picture of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
on the
wall.
Yeah. And so
They kept trying to change that shit too.
and they took it out of the movie, out of the final cut. So, anywho, so the Sonyverse is still very confused as to what takes place in what universe. It doesn't matter. All
They even mentioned that in the movie, like the opening shot is Venom. Just like, I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah, and it's
Is it? It's Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah.
That's as close as I can get.
That's about as close as I'm going to get with that too.
Yeah.
Is what you just said.
Rex.
I my favorite role of his is The Martian. Actually.
For me, it's definitely 12
yeah.
years a slave.
Oh, he's so good in that.
Yeah, 12 Years a Slave. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was excellent in that.
I really love him in The Martian. I think
Yeah.
he's brilliant in that, and I love that movie. So
I thought you meant Martian Manhunter, but that's a different guy.
yeah, no, The Martian Manhunter is not in The Martian.
You're about to set like the record somehow for like the most racist comment.
What?
Because they don't look anything alike.
No, they don't.
The actor
But
who played Martian Manhunter and
they don't.
that who plays Rex Strickland, like
I'm just gonna be quiet.
worlds apart.
See, I was going even further with it, and I was like, Matt Damon doesn't look anything like Martian Manhunter.
To be fair, they're
Not at all.
both military dudes.
You're not helping yourself.
You're
no.
really not helping yourself.
No.
I also feel like maybe his agent, did he just need the money for this? Because, while I don't hate this movie, it seems beneath him.
It kind of does, right? Like I'm pretty sure he won an Oscar for 12 Years a Slave.
He did. Yeah.
And so, and it seemed like they were teeing him up in the beginning, in Doctor Strange to be like a big bad villain. That never really came to fruition.
No.
But here, I agree. So Brendan and I, we were talking during the movie about the Rex Strickland character, and because I was trying to put my finger on it, because this character, he's an amalgamation of two different characters. The first character, whose name I forget, he stars the force of like specialized troopers that are made to take down symbiotes. And he does it because in like one of Venom's very first appearances, when Venom breaks out of jail, he kills a security guard. And come to find out, all these issues later, that security guard is that guy's son who starts the force. So
Guardsman.
the guardsman, that's it, yeah. Because they got
that's the guy that he fucks up in Lethal Protector.
yeah, because they I think they got their gear. It was like old Stark Tech gear.
His face is even on the cover, getting fucked.
But so that they took elements of this character from that run in Lethal Protectors, and then the actual name character Rex Strickland from the comics. This was during the whole King in Black era, and Rex Strickland, like it was a whole twist with this character in the comics where he's actually helping Eddie because he has experience dealing with symbiotes back during a war.
He was the first one.
He was the first one who they used it as like a weaponized military unit for. And but he's not telling the whole truth, and come to find out, Rex Strickland died years ago and the symbiote just took his place. And so I was talking to Brendan during the movie and I was like, do you think they're going to do that twist here?
I wish they would have.
It would have been a cool twist.
I mean, that's kind of a spoiler that they didn't, but
I have an idea. Like I had a huge idea during the movie. I have to talk about it in the spoiler section, but
there's so much I want to say in this.
There was a thing that I kept thinking like, oh, this is going to happen, but they didn't do it. So, I mean, I think obviously, like it was a great casting. I mean, but like I said, it just kind of felt beneath him. This was not something he had to, stretch his legs for. This was a phone it in day for him.
Kind of was. Like, it just seemed too simple, too one-dimensional of a character for him to play.
Right.
But
I mean, they can't all be hits.
That's true. What do you think about Juno Temple? I barely recognized her. I hadn't seen her in years.
That's
She
the blonde
played
lady?
the doctor with
I think if there's a main character that was a missed opportunity, I think it's her. Like, it's like they tried to put this arc in for her.
Yeah.
Arc. They tried to put an arc in.
Yeah, you don't get one.
No, come on. But yeah, they tried, and I feel like some of that shit got left on the cutting room floor.
Right?
You think so?
It seems like there's another 15 minutes of her that we just didn't get.
Yeah, and
I think there's a more like 30 minutes of the movie that we didn't fucking get.
I would kind of have preferred that they cut it all. Like just have her be a scientist.
Yeah.
She doesn't. We don't really need anything more from her here. I liked her character.
I did not like her character.
She to me was the kind of scientists who's so into their work that they're naive about the realities of it.
I don't think it was more naive. I just didn't think she cared. Didn't give a shit about the people dying. It was just, like he just got done telling her. Well, that's in the spoilers.
We'll have to get into it in the second half. I definitely.
I mean, that's not really a spoiler, but like
no, it is. Yeah.
What you guys think about the action in this movie?
We're not going to talk about Rice Evans.
Oh yeah. Fuck, I almost forgot. I'll be honest.
I don't know these names.
He definitely played. He was like the hippie dad.
Oh
yeah, the lizard.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He.
So weird to me. I did not know. I knew his face looked familiar. I'm like,
I was shocked that they cast him. I mean, he played the role.
He did
very well. I mean, he's incredibly talented.
I think that he took such a cartoonish thing and kind of was able to humanize it a bit.
Yeah.
And so like I never found him annoying, and I normally would, So I thought that he and his wife in particular did really good. The kids didn't get a whole lot, but
yeah, I normally would have hated that whole family.
Yeah.
And also we have a Westphalia, and they do not have air conditioning, which is why you don't ever see me riding in that shit.
huh.
I didn't even think about that connection.
They were very accurate with that, huh?
Yeah, they didn't have AC at all. Like some of them have the option for a heater.
For what year were they?
Those had to be the 60s.
Well, the one that we have is I think a 71 or a 68 somewhere in there. But I think I want to say early 60s to late 70s was when they made them. Now, they make a new one that's like all electric and it does all kind of crazy shit, and it has AC. But the old ones like that, you had the option for the heater, optional heater. But there was no AC option. Like none of them had AC.
Weird.
Because they were, mostly made for Europe. And in
Fair
those
enough,
areas,
you don't need AC.
In the areas, you don't. It doesn't
shit
really
in
get
Canada, they don't even have AC in their house sometimes.
Hell, I mean, most of the northern U.S.
Really?
They don't have it. Yeah, most of the houses. Like I have some friends that live in upstate New York, and most of those houses don't have AC.
Jeez.
Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah, nah, fuck all that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like the heat, but sometimes.
Like a ceiling fan is typically enough up there because I mean, the hottest it's gonna get is like 90 outside, and even then, it's not gonna be humid. It's gonna be dry heat. So,
in New York?
Yeah.
Not when I was fucking there.
I'm talking about upstate. I'm not talking about in the city.
Yeah, it probably is a little bit different upstate.
The city is hot as fuck
Is that because of the ocean, or would that?
No, it's because of all the buildings and humans.
It's the concrete jungle.
Yeah, literally. Where dreams are made of.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
I knew it was coming.
All right.
I knew it was coming.
I teed you up. I take the blame for that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. That's
Be glad I let it at that.
That is your fault. Thanks, Ace.
Oh, shit.
This is the musical episode of... And it's still a better musical than
I knew it was coming.
He teed himself up for that.
I did.
So,
hey, sometimes you just got to lay your own bricks and then walk on them.
but the whole hippie family that we get here, like I said, I typically would find them to be so annoying. And while they were just kind of interjected into the movie, I didn't hate them. Brendan, what you think about the hippies? Okay,
It's like hippies as a whole, or
out of context, that may have sounded disparaging.
I just seem kind of like, what do you think about that? Like family or
I just
hippies in general?
I want to point out that this is in no way representative of the viewpoint of the Superhero Homies podcast as a whole.
I'll be hearing from the committee.
You will. You said hippies the way Eric Cartman says it.
He did. Yeah, think about those damn hippies.
What you think about those hippies?
God damn.
The fuck is wrong with the hippies, man? Anyway, they seemed all right. They were kind of, obviously they were kind of weird, and they were supposed to be, especially the dad. But I mean, I was expecting, well, the spoiler section, but like he just kind of interjected for, you know, I don't know, for comedy and wholesome sake.
There was an underlying theme there with that family.
Yeah.
That helped drive home the through line of this movie a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I think that's
It helped Eddie and Venom kind of connect a little bit more and show, like, with their character progress and arc a little bit.
Yeah.
That was a nice scene. I was expecting some shit to happen, and you know the scene I'm talking about. And just, no.
I was 100% expecting the kid from Black Adam ×4.
Oh, no.
And that kid is awful.
Oh, yeah.
Ruins the whole movie.
Yeah, he does.
That kid was so annoying.
Yeah, I liked the family. I thought they were kind of cool. And I like you, I normally would hate these fucking characters. Mm-hmm. Although I did, you know, you can blame Joss Whedon for this, but immediately when they appeared, I was like, if the Flash pushes that VW bus to safety later on, I'm going to get up and leave.
Thanks, Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what else we got here in this movie? Oh, yeah.
I love the very first
the
scene with the mob.
Mm-hmm. That
or
scene
the
was
drug dealers or whatever.
literally made for you.
It was. It really was. And he's like, you might want to cover your eyes. I'm like, no. Like, but it's literally made for me. Like, I wrote that scene. Like, I put in that scene for that movie.
Basically.
I mean, yeah. So, like, with
it's kind of weird.
With movies like this, you have to, like, it's good in the sense that you don't have to completely turn your brain off. That's always good when you don't have to just shut your brain down completely and go brain dead. But you do have to turn off certain synapses in your brain. And one of those things you have to turn off when it comes to this movie is ignore the fact that things happen just because they need to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a very common occurrence, including the opening scene. Like, this opening scene was, I mean, it was contrived. But it's there to it gets the people going, you know? It's there to...
it was there to make me happy.
It was.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Amy Pascal called me up, and she said, listen, I hear that Brendan is going to be on the Superhero Homies review for this new Venom movie we got coming out. And I was like, yeah, Amy, I thought I told you to lose my number, but yes, Brendan is going to be on the review. And then she was like, listen, we just want to make sure he never has to use Blue Chew again. And how can we accomplish that? And then I was like, listen, you start the movie off, and then I explain the scene.
Yeah. We get into the spoilers. I don't know if you want, like, if that is a spoiler.
We'll say that for the spoiler field.
Yeah, sure.
Venom does some cool shit at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, it sure does.
The score and then the pacing, and then we'll score this thing in Mosey.
Well, we really didn't talk about the action yet. You brought it up, and then we wrapped it up.
True.
Yeah.
I did. I brought it up. Then I did not rabbit hole us, but yes, I did bring it up.
Oh, I didn't say you did it.
Okay.
I just said we rabbit hole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
It could have been me. I'm notorious for it.
Yeah. So I guess I'll go ahead and go first on this one. I thought that the action here was. I actually like it better than I did, at least in Venom 2. Admittedly, I don't remember a whole lot from Venom 1 in terms of his action, but I know this much. In Venom 2, it was just so hard to follow because they wanted that R rating so bad and couldn't get it. And so a lot of the action in that one was just kind of sloppy. It wasn't Jason Bourne. It wasn't that bad, but it was a little hard to follow. And this one, they find more clever ways to get around the R rating. And
Guardians opened the door, man.
Am I mistaken? Is Craven getting an R rating?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's some bullshit.
It is. I agree with you there.
Oh my god! I was wondering if did I see that right there? And it's going to have a bunch of gratuitous gore and shit in it.
You know why this movie can't have an R rating?
Because
Yep.
See this merchandise?
fair enough.
Mm-hmm. That is the $1 billion curse. Like, unless your name is Deadpool and or Wolverine.
I was gonna say it's Deadpool and Wolverine.
If you make $1 billion, congratulations. You have
This could have been Sony's Deadpool and Wolverine. This could have been Sony's Deadpool.
You hit a glass ceiling if you're $1 billion franchise, because out of that $1 billion, you're gonna make hundreds of million more in merchandising. But you can't do that if you can't bring little Timmy and Sarah to the movies.
Right. Yeah. And like,
I disagree.
I think they pushed that PG-13 rating.
They did.
Like, as far as they could get it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah,
like,
as they always did. They
James
have in the
Gunn-
other two movies.
James Gunn just flung the door open. Mm-hmm. He was like, "Fuck you guys."
I'm pretty sure they say fuck more than once.
No, there's just the one
it's just the
motherfucker.
one,
Yeah. And because you only can get one.
Yeah, you can only get one. But I think they kind of faked it when the Xenophage first attacks, and Venom starts to say it, but they kind of pan away as he's saying it.
Well, that's fine, you know.
That doesn't count. He doesn't get the full word out.
Yeah. I mean, you can, like, because like they had Samuel L. Jackson almost say it a couple times,
Right.
as Nick Fury.
Great. That was the best.
I think the action is probably among my least favorite things here. I will say that, like a lot of things, it was better than the first two movies. It's a lot easier to follow here. There are still a bunch of times where you cannot follow what the fuck is going on. And I will also say that you just don't get a lot of cool Venom stuff.
Yeah,
There's not a lot of memory.
As far as like other than the beginning scene, that's the best you get out of Venom action.
It really is. I mean, he does some cool shit later, but most of the great, like, if there's memorable stuff, it wasn't because of Venom, as far as action.
Yeah. No, that is true.
That would be one thing I was kind of disappointed by. I'm like, I wanted to see Venom fight more.
They had him fight the gray one, then they had him fight the red one. They should have pulled the trigger then, to do their cool Venom shit.
You're right.
However, they did not. So this is what we're left with. Oh, I mean, and also, here's the other crazy concept, man. Imagine if he had, fought Spider-Man. Like,
I was just thinking about it too.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
yeah.
Spider who?
Yeah, I know. It's a crazy thought I had. I don't know where it came from.
Don't need no stinking menace Spider-Man.
They could have had him fought Agent Spider for all I care. It would have been fine.
Right. Hey, do I have a book over there called Spider-Man versus Venom? I think I do.
Man, that's crazy.
That is wild.
There can't be like multiple stories about that.
Right? That doesn't even feel like it should track.
I don't see any. I don't see any giant ass killing books over there.
Oh, okay.
I do see one with Nola on it.
The score, yeah.
I'll go.
Yeah.
This score frustrated the shit out of me. Not because it was like good or bad, but because it was both. Like, there were times where they would play a song and you're just like, did y'all just ask Spotify what should be playing right now? Did you have a bot fucking
out of nowhere? Did
ChatGPT fucking look this up for you? Like, there were just times where I felt like the music was so uninspired and like, to me, one of the worst feelings that you can get from a musical score is where it takes you out of the movie and you realize that by playing this music, they want you to feel a thing, but you do not.
Yeah.
and then it just great. You just
I
kind
think
of
the
are like,
scene that you're thinking about is just because it's so out of nowhere.
yeah.
And
I
it's just
think,
like there wasn't any music to begin with before this,
and then they just kicked it on.
and then they just kicked it on, which I like the music that they chose, and I like the scene, but it just seemed kind of just out of nowhere. Just
I will say you can almost divide it up in the movie. Like I kind of like hate the music in the first half and really liked it in the second half. Like I don't know that that's 100% how it was, but I know that most of the shitty choices are in the first half. And then there were a few times where I was like, this is a great score in the second half. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if did they just want to make a cool soundtrack? I don't know.
This comment here is less about the score in general, and it's a combination of their music choice combined with the pacing of this movie. There's a scene where they literally sang an entire fucking song, and I was like, I get what we're doing here, but we could have cut 2/3 of this out.
No, I like that scene.
it was a good scene.
We could have cut 2/3 of that shit out.
No, I like that.
I was off put by that scene, but I liked it at the same time.
Don't listen to these fucks. That shit was awesome.
I get that you like it. That shit was not necessary. I'm like, why do we need fucking 4 minutes of this shit?
I get both sides of it.
It's not necessary for me to wear my hat on top of my headphones, but it's awesome.
He has a point.
And I liked it in the movie.
He's like, I liked it. And that's all that matters.
And I'm sitting there like, I'm sorry, am I the only, what the fuck is the purpose?
Which commandment is like what you like? Is that 10?
Yeah, it's 10.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
Only rule 10!
Yeah. Well, that's what I've been going by with the whole damn trilogy.
Get Ty Dillinger down here. That's a deep cut.
It is a deep cut. God damn. Does he still go by that name?
No.
I
think he's
Spears.
Yeah, I think he
Spears?
kept the whatever Spears shit when he came back.
Okay.
He came back to.
Yeah,
he's back in.
So he's back as a different name.
Yeah, he's back in WWE, and I'm gonna be honest, man. That fucking gimmick was golden, and I think he just hated it.
I think so.
But it's the height of his career. He's never gonna.
It's gonna be difficult.
He could just go back to it anytime too.
Yeah, he could.
Who was he a tag team with? He was a tag team with someone for a good while. That I don't know.
Venom.
Yeah, Venom.
Yeah, back to Venom.
Wrestling.
Tyson Kidd?
No.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Anyway,
Was it Gable?
back to Venom.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Anyway.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah, so what about the pacing? How'd you guys feel this movie was paced? I just expressed some of my feelings about the pacing in this movie.
The pacing, just like this movie, I didn't hate it, but it was definitely all over the fucking place. Mm-hmm. And I'm I'm just on edge the whole fucking time because I'm just this is gone to a crawl, and I'm just expecting something to happen. And I'm nothing, it doesn't happen. And then I'm like,
wow, you should see Joker 2.
I don't mean it like that. I'm expecting bad shit to happen during good moments.
I will say that, and this goes more into plot, but it also involves pacing. This movie, until we got to the third act, right? I was never sitting there going, "This is what's going to happen next." It was
but we were wrong.
The way that they wrote it and paced it, I think that it is pretty unpredictable. In a good way, not in a subverting expectations and because we have no creativity way. I thought that it was. I
disagree.
I enjoyed the pacing. I thought that the movie gives it. I mean, it gives things time to breathe, and then it hits the gas again.
Yeah.
And I never thought that it did too much of either of those things. So,
Brendan?
I kind of disagree with the whole subverting expectations. I'm I expected some things to happen, and I was kind of disappointed that a lot of things didn't happen that I kind of wanted to happen or see in there.
did the advertising for the movie give you those expectations, or did you come up with them?
Well, I plead the fifth.
Okay. You're not under oath here.
Or are you? Keep in mind, you are being recorded right
Yes.
now.
That's true. That's true. This could be used against you in a court of law. I mean, there's nothing preventing it.
That's true.
It's going to be public domain.
Yeah, I didn't hate the pacing a whole lot here, except for when I did. Like the movie kept going at a really decent pace, at a really good trajectory, and I was enjoying it up until it just fucking hits a wall.
Yeah, I was gonna say it hit a brick wall.
But it does it a couple of times, man. We're going, and then we just stop.
I'm just like,
and then we start going again, and then we stop. But then when we get settled into the third act, we kind of just keep going, and then. But yeah, there are just some moments here where
even in the third act, it hits a brick wall, and I'm just like,
yeah, there's moments, man, where it just stops, and
that's
I don't know why.
my main complaint at the end is just like it hits a wall, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Well, clearly there's a lot of things to speak about in the spoiler-filled section, so I think it's about time that we go ahead and score this and head on over to that direction.
Yeah.
I'll go first with this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that Venom, The Last Dance, it's got something that the other two movies don't, and that is common decency.
Applaud.
What?
I said applaud.
Oh,
I was gonna say, like, what do you mean by common decency?
I mean, yeah, and the plot.
Yeah.
It definitely.
The other ones
has
have a
that.
plot.
I mean, they have premises. I don't know if they necessarily have plots, but
It's a boy and his alien.
I think that that this movie right here, it does actually have, for me, more or less a satisfying conclusion to this trilogy. And it's like, because I didn't particularly enjoy the first two, I wasn't expecting anything from this one. And the fact that they gave a conclusion that is better than the rest of the journey, I think that means something. This movie did something really good here. Again, this movie it's not great. It's not mind-blowing. It's not gonna make me look back at the other two movies and say, man, they were really cooking the whole time. No, it's nothing like that. But I do think that this movie should be at least somewhat applauded for trying to have a solid finale and some type of character growth for our two leads, and for trying to do something a little bit different from the first two movies. Does it always succeed? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I can think of a couple scenes that I would love to cut out this movie. I absolutely just love to cut out. I already mentioned one that I would love to at least reduce, but then there's some that I would just love to take out.
I think I know
entirely.
which one.
Yeah. And we'll
No,
get there.
never.
But I think that this movie it does a lot of things so much better than the other two, but ultimately it still falls short in a lot of other categories. And hopefully the next time we see Venom again, we can take this character and really look at it from like the areas of depth and nuance that Eddie Brock really should be viewed from. I think that Tom Hardy's an amazing actor. But when it comes to these movies, for some reason, it just feels like he kind of reverts to kind of this one-note act, and I don't understand why he does it. Ultimately, though, like with this movie, guys, I think you have a fun time. If you're on the fence with the first two, you'll enjoy this one more. And if you, for some reason, love the first two like Brendan, I guess you'll really love this one. But I'm going to give it a 6.8 out of 10.
It's my turn.
Sure.
Yep. Like I said, there's a lot that I would want to say, but it would be very spoilerific. But I had a lot of fun with the characters, as I did with the other movies. And I think the pacing of the movie was a lot too get through, but it was all over the place. But I in a weird way, I kind of enjoyed it as well. Mm-hmm. But up until the end, like the ending caught me off guard a lot. Like I just seemed out of place. It seemed rushed.
I can't wait to see what caught you off guard.
Same.
Other than that, I enjoyed Venom and Eddie. Tom Hardy, that's his name. Mm-hmm. He does act a little odd, and there's like just a lot of characters in this movie are kind of odd, and they're kind of a little cartoony here and there. But I was laughing out, a lot with the jokes and the different antics and tomfoolery, But other than that, like it's I would probably give it around 7. It's hard. I have 2 different scores that I would want to give it.
2 different scores.
Yeah.
Well, you only get to pick one.
Oh.
Just take right in the middle of those 2 numbers that you want to give it and give it that.
All right.
He's like a 10.
10. 7.38.
7.38.
Mm-hmm.
That's very specific.
Yeah. That's it. Each point has its own meaning.
All right.
I gotta be honest. It's like I said at the top of the hour here. Our expectations going into this, we have been talking about all year how we don't want to see this movie. I was not excited going into this, but I will say that I, for the most part, enjoyed myself. I rolled my eyes a good bit, but I felt like out of the 3 of them, this was easily the best. I mean, it would be like if season 3 of Rings of Power hired someone who had read Lord of the Rings. They're not the showrunner, right? So they can't fix things, but there would at least be someone there who would be like, "Hey guys, maybe we shouldn't do this." and so that's kind of the comparison here is I feel like when they put this movie together, they were out to actually tell a story. And while it did not blow me away by any means, I definitely enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I'm going to give this a 6.1.
And there you have it, folks. You have 3 scores for the 3rd Venom movie, The Last Dance. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that spoiler-free review. Now we're going to mosey on over to the land of spoilers. But on the way there, we're going to make a couple of pit stops. And, we're going to pick up some snacks. And we're going to have a little conversation here.
If you...
Can we also meander?
Yeah, we're going to meander on over. And we may even dilly-dally, but we will not lollygag.
Okay. No, there is no lollygag.
However... if you haven't seen the movie, this is the time to get out.
Yeah, this is when you hit the pause button, go watch the movie, and fuck off, and then come back.
Get your shit and get out.
yeah, hit that pause button, go watch the movie if you still want to watch it after hearing our scores, and then come back. And if you're just not going to watch it, then stay tuned. We're about to spoil the shit out of it for you.
Spoil the fuck out of this. So let's just assume here that Sony doesn't ever lose the rights to Spider-Man IPs. What Sony property Marvel movie would you actually like to see? Let's say that you could pick the director, and but it's got to be a Sony property that they can make. What would you want Marvel, to see from them?
But is Spider-Man related adjacent?
It would have to be, yeah.
I mean, I got mine. But
Can they put Spider-Man in it?
I was gonna say, That's a good question.
I would be generous and say you can have Spider-Man in it for 8 to 10 minutes max.
Fuck.
I get their logic with not wanting Spider-Man in it because he's going to overshadow.
Well, it's not the logic. I don't think they legally can.
Really?
I mean, it's their property, but they've licensed it to Disney.
It to Disney,
So they can't use it while Disney is using it.
And it's not in Disney or Tom Holland's interest for them to have multiple live-action Spider-Man at the same time.
That is a mess. I guess that's why I like Venom 1 so much better. Like, because I knew going in that they were working with that kind of restriction. So I already knew that like, we weren't going to get the normal
so it's like, why
origin.
do it? Why do it?
Because Venom.
But it's not Venom.
It's close enough. It's not a spidery Venom, but it's still Venom. I was hoping to maybe, and I guess this was just like a pipe dream, to somehow get the emblem across the chest and back. Maybe somehow, with some weird reason. But I wasn't expecting it. I was just kind of hoping. No.
Caleb, do you have some thoughts there?
Okay.
Sorry.
So, I do. So here's the movie that I want, right?
Okay.
I want, and this is surprising because I'm going off of the restrictions of like, they've already made everything they've already made.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. I can't like erase all of it because, oh my God, I would. Okay. So, all right. So hear me out here. Mm-hmm. So early on in the movie, right? Kingpin is in the movie.
Oh.
And Kingpin brings in someone. Mm-hmm. I haven't quite nailed that down yet in my pitch. But this would be the main bad guy. Is Kingpin arranges for this person to take out Spider-Man. Right? And shit, it could be
Shocker, Electro,
Goblin, whatever, you know. And they actually succeed.
Or maybe a good Rhino.
Yeah, no.
They might be getting one in the next movie.
They actually succeed in taking it, like, not killing Spider-Man, but like they put him on the sidelines. Mm-hmm. So that's the Spider-Man's only in 10 minutes of the movie.
Okay.
And then Keaton's Vulture steps up and protects the city against Kingpin.
Huh. The only caveat to that, the only drawback is, even though I didn't specify this, but I don't know if you'd be able to use Kingpin in this.
Yeah, I thought maybe because he's in Spider-Verse that they have some kind of
right.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a Daredevil or Spider-Man.
Both. But if you can't get D'Onofrio, then you know. Oh, and of course I want it to be directed by Ridley Scott.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
And it's also it's a bold choice to put your Spider-Man usage in the beginning of your movie.
Yeah, in the beginning, yeah.
That is, yeah.
I would have got Denis Villeneuve, but that shit's not deep enough for him. He doesn't want to spend fucking 90 minutes doing action scenes and shit.
Right. Even though I think he'd have a blast with Sandman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a Dune reference?
Kinda, but I mean, I still mean it. Yeah.
No, if I want Denis Villeneuve to direct any superhero anything, it would be a fucking Batman versus Mr. Freeze movie.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure.
Sheesh.
Trying to think of what he did. That's the director behind Dune.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he also did the second Blade Runner.
Yep.
I still need to watch that.
Arrival.
Arrival.
Yeah.
Did he do Prisoners?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prisoners is a fucked up movie. It's amazing, but it's such a fucked up movie.
I'm not familiar with that movie.
So the premise is that these two families, their children get kidnapped by this fucking psychopath, and all right. So the children go missing, and they think that this psychopath is the one that kidnapped them, but the cops don't have any evidence. So Hugh Jackman fucking kidnaps this guy who's clearly like special needs as fuck and tortures the shit out of him for like weeks. Yeah. It's an insanely dark movie.
That does sound kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
I think if it were up to me, I would actually capitalize on the hype right now. I would make a Spider-Gwen movie.
Oh.
For Shizzle.
That was a very financially beneficial.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially right now.
I would obviously have this be in the universe where she does not get killed by the Goblin. But instead, of course, in her place, Peter does die. And that kind of censored down her journey.
She's not from the Ultimate Universe, is she?
She's
That's Miles, right?
Yeah, Miles is from the Ultimate Universe.
Okay.
Yeah, Spider-Gwen was supposed to be a one-shot. It was just a one-off thing.
Oh, yeah. And that somehow she got into the 616. Because she's in King in Black.
Yeah.
And as Venom.
As Venom, yeah.
But her suit is made out of spiders?
It was something weird like that. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck happened here?
It's weird, right? Because it seems, and this is a rabbit hole, but why does it seem like Hollywood in general, and I would say maybe even especially Sony and Disney, seem to want, like, obviously there's a big push for like female protagonists, right? And I'm not opposed to that in any way. Mm-hmm. But why does it seem like they tend to choose to get behind female protagonists that have never made any money?
That has always been my question, right?
And not like the ones that are a proven commodity.
Yeah.
You know?
And so it's... Yeah, and I don't have an answer for that.
I mean, they tried with Catwoman, but...
Did they try?
Did they? I mean... The best Catwoman we ever fucking... Well, actually, I take that back. We got a great Catwoman in Rises, and we got a great Catwoman in the Batman.
Yeah. Zoe Kravitz.
I'm saying with her own movie.
I'll be honest. I only really recognized that she did a great performance the second time I watched the Batman, because the first time I was just...
You just distracted.
I was very distracted by Zoe Kravitz.
She's a very distracting person.
Yeah, I'll do whatever she wants.
Right. Yeah. Whatever you say, girl.
Yeah.
Shit, fuck them jewels. You can have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob my house.
Right. I'll be up in an open robe, laying down on the bearskin rug.
You're right. Yeah.
The jewels is right in front of me.
Yeah. Yeah. She can't carry my OLED out, so you know.
Oh shit. I actually just did a podcast with Douglas A. Burton. He's a writer, and he's written some very interesting and influential books in terms of how women are portrayed in media. And he was a great guy. We had a lot in common, and man, we had a lot of very similar viewpoints on a lot of these type topics. And we also had the opportunity to shit on a lot of the same things. And so it was a lot of fun talking with him.
I hear that he did not appreciate Palpatine at all.
He did not. He did not. Yeah. So I took great pleasure in dismantling that character. But yeah, so I think that Marvel in particular, they just definitely need to lean into the tried and true characters. Take advantage, and when you bring the X-Men in, be sure you have an emphasis on fucking Storm.
Yeah.
Who has been like an A-list X-Man since Claremont brought her in.
I mean, the X-Men has a treasure trove of great female characters.
Yeah.
They even got a fucking a non-binary character in there that his power makes him more non-binary. Use Morph. Morph is so popular. You could get the guy that voices him in 97 to play him.
That's true.
I mean,
True.
he's very spot on.
Yeah. Yeah. They got the right motherfucker for that job.
Right?
That's for damn sure.
Yeah. We met him at Dragon Con.
We did. Yeah. Yeah. He was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, I just think that they should just focus on, because like this has always been like my thing about comic book adaptations in general, comic book characters in general. And I've said this since day one of the podcast. Like, look at what makes money. Look at what people are buying. Because there's clearly something there that are drawing people to those things. And so, for example, like no one has picked up an Eternals comic book since fucking Alan Moore did that miniseries 25 years ago, you know? And so making an Eternals movie, surprise, surprise, didn't make you any fucking money. You didn't stick to the source anyway, so what's the point?
Yeah.
And so like whenever they kind of go off script or try to,
How well were Guardians movie comics doing before the movie?
yeah, the 2006-ish run, phenomenal, because it revitalized the Marvel cosmic space. In terms of like the spacefaring adventures during that time frame, DC had it on lock. Nothing was touching Green Lantern. They had the cosmic series in a chokehold.
Which even reminds me of, why have you not done a Nova movie?
Yeah.
I still blame Captain Marvel for that.
Yeah.
I really do.
Oh yeah, I would definitely rather replace her.
By the way,
Also,
Replace
you know,
Nova with her, or reverse.
Thanos also destroys Xandar, so.
and that sets up Nova though.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it right, the Guardians is almost the problem. Like I almost feel like, you know, James Gunn took the diamond in the rough, right? That it was like these wacky fucking characters that, you know, while comic readers might have been, you know, might have liked those arcs or whatever in 2006 or whatever it is. As far as like the mainstream zeitgeist, they were completely unknown. There wasn't a single fucking character in that movie that anybody knew about.
Yeah.
James Gunn worked some magic, and I feel like after that, so many people are just fucking tossing a hook into the lake and praying.
Been trying to copy it ever since.
You know, they're like, oh, well, maybe we could make
Even
a
Marvel.
fucking Morbius movie.
Marvel's trying to copy it again.
But
Yeah.
I think like the more finer point that I was trying to make was that like, even though the comic book nerds loved the Guardians books, to your point, Caleb, it's not like the general fan base knew about it. But the fact that the comic book could sell is proof that this can sell to a larger audience.
Right.
Whereas there's a lot of movies that they make with characters who could never sell, who had over half a dozen reboots, Captain Marvel.
Right.
You know, and there's so many characters that just never could get off the ground the way that they wanted to. And they had the Roman Reigns effect.
Yeah.
You know, and no matter how many times you try to repackage it, it just didn't work. And then they try to use it on the big screen, and it also doesn't work.
Wasn't she pretty popular as Miss Marvel though?
That's the crazy thing. She was more popular as a B-list character than she was as an A-lister.
I don't know.
And
Consider her an A-lister now?
and then you
She's
have-
got A-list powers, but I don't know if I would consider her an A-lister.
Well, listen,
They're trying to push her as one, but
Roman Reigns doing his face run, he wasn't likable, but he was still the top guy. It's the same thing.
Yeah, they just tried to tell you what you like.
Yeah.
And that shit never works.
It never works.
I mean, and then you have, of course, the opposite. I always have to bring this shit up. You have Kamala Khan, who never made any fucking money, but their most popular iteration is live action. Yeah. Although I think we can chalk that up almost entirely to the fucking casting.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else plays that role, and then we see the same level of success or fandom.
Yeah, Iman Vellani is just a cool like very charismatic person.
Yeah.
And we like her because she's a nerd.
Right.
Yeah, she's one of us.
It's hard for me to speak on it because I haven't really watched any of her depictions of that character. So
I have seen the Marvels, and I mean, listen. One day I'm gonna have therapy about and go through all this goddamn trauma that I've suffered on this podcast, and I mean, but like the last 2 years alone have done a real number on my mental health. But yeah. Anyways, she wasn't the problem with the movie.
Okay. I'm like you. I'm not a big fan of kid characters.
She's easily the best thing in the Marvels.
Oh, I believe that.
Although that is kind of like saying this is the best Venom movie. to
Wasn't
go
the
ahead
lady
and bring
that
us
did Rambo? Isn't she pretty good?
She's great in WandaVision.
She don't have fuck all to do
in the
Really?
in the Marvels.
She's
How? There to spit out. Now, I won't even say spit out. She's there to vomit up exposition, and that's it.
And look good doing it.
Yeah. I mean, she looked great.
Right.
Yeah.
She don't have a choice on that.
Yeah. Well, are we ready to get into some spoilers?
Yeah, let's go. You've been warned.
You have been warned.
We fucked around, and now you're about to find out.
About to find all the way out. So, where do we want to start with these spoilers?
So
Venom dead.
Yeah.
No.
And I'm the fact that they set it up early that only one of them had to die.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, so from that moment, you're like, who's it going to be?
Yeah.
And I kind of thought for a while that they were going to go with like both of them. And I'm actually really glad they didn't do that. Because I really like the way that this ultimately all ended.
Yeah.
The Venom sacrifice play was fucking cool. And the coolest thing Venom does in the whole movie. When he fucking absorbed all those fucking xenophage.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that was like so cool. And then the way he went out, it wasn't like this motherfucker shot himself in the head. Like, no, he melted himself. That shit had to suck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, Brendan, what about the ending that you not enjoy?
I guess the fact that Venom really had to die. Like,
you wanted a fake out where they both live?
I mean, they've been doing it in the other movies. They did in the first one.
But they kind of set it up in the movie that couldn't happen.
I just, wishful thinking and,
I get that you're a super Venom fan, but you wouldn't have felt cheated if there is no sacrifice?
True. I'm two minds of it.
Okay.
I don't know if I would have chosen that as his ending because, he got rid of 3 of the xenophages, or 4, like however there many.
Yeah.
There's like about 5 of them at that point. But still, at that point, Noel can still send more. He still had like a shit ton of them.
But for what purpose? The Codex is gone.
Yeah.
To, like he said, he was going to burn the world and fuck shit up. So, I mean...
But his ultimate thing, like, he doesn't want to sit there. He wants to do it himself.
Yeah.
Like, his main thing is to get out of that fucking prison.
Yeah.
And he needs Codex to do that.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
And the Codex is gone, so...
So who's up for the Agony spinoffs?
Okay.
So
that's what they were kind of going for there.
Yeah.
At the ending there, it seems like the direction they're going.
So my thing that I thought was going to happen, and I was going to pop like crazy for it, and I feel like this is a goddamn missed opportunity, right? So one of the vials, the main side is like, so they had the big ones that had like the random symbiotes in them.
Yeah.
But the 3 that they had, that the main scientist had when they got the Venom sample, those looked like Riot and Carnage. Like one of them was clearly red.
I think they might have been orange, maybe.
It looked red to me. And so I 100% thought that they had some of the Carnage symbiote, and that they were going to give it to Strickland after he got stabbed.
Oh man!
And that he was going to be Carnage, and they were going to team up. And I was like, "Is this going to fucking happen?" Because I think that would have been amazing.
Yeah, that would have been something else. That would have been cool to see.
I think if that would have happened, Carnage has too much of Cletus Cassidy inside of him to.
I mean, he
but the movie
wouldn't
version
have made it out of the fight anyway. You know,
true, which is another thing I've had a problem with. Is just so many of the especially with what's his name, Mulligan.
Oh yeah.
that was the guy from the first movie, right?
Second movie.
Yeah.
He's in the second movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was the guy that had Riot.
No. That was the guy at the end of the second one. He had a piece of symbiote that was left behind from Carnage.
Oh, okay.
And the whole hint was that we're gonna get Toxin and I guess we do, but he's just behind the.
That wasn't Toxin. Fuck. I thought maybe that we were going for maybe he's Phage now. No, not Phage. Lasher.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, because Patrick Mulligan, that is Toxin.
Yeah, that's good Toxin. So I was hoping to get Toxin in this third movie.
Let me ask you guys something, because I am ignorant as it comes to all this. I know these are words you're saying. How many of these fucking random symbiotes are actual characters?
So let me just remind you something that you already know. But I'll just remind you. Whenever Marvel finds something that is successful, they will do it again
and again
and again. And that's how you wind up with a Spider-Verse.
I was going to say, are you trying to tell me there's more than one Spider-Person?
and then get this now, there's a Venom-verse.
Yeah, there is.
In the comics, yes.
Yeah,
that's where they are currently in the comics.
Remember when they did the multiverses of Sabretooth versus Wolverine? That was just earlier this year, I believe.
No, I did not see that. No, I did not see them. What the fuck? What?
Sometimes when there's no creativity left in the bank, you gotta get it.
Or if it's just selling.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Okay. How
this
many
is the 90s.
In this movie you want?
This is also
in this movie, how many of those symbiotes, what percentage of them are actual named symbiotes? And then I also want to know how many of them actually have at least one book.
Oh. Well. Toxin doesn't even have his own book.
Yeah, I thought he did.
Did he?
I think he did. I think Toxin got his own.
Isn't Toxin dead now?
I think now he is, maybe.
Okay. Anywho,
he wasn't in King in Black, so. No, he is. No, he is in King in Black. Fuck. He's not. He's some little kid, though.
Yeah, Patrick Mulligan is dead. That's what it is.
Is he? Yeah, I guess so. Because he sure as hell ain't Patrick Mulligan.
Anywho. Sure enough, bro. There's a fucking Toxin.
I'll be damned.
Who's he fucking up?
I don't know. Some green guy. I don't.
Some guy who's having a bad time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like he might.
Probably another guard.
So, if the Keebler elves put on their 5 different rings of sugar, spice, peanut butter, then this is the guy they summon to defend their tree. Or whatever.
Jesus!
Yeah,
he does look way cooler in that frame than he does in this movie. I'll be honest.
I don't think that was supposed to be Toxin. I was just
you have to assume it is though, because it's Patrick Mulligan. That's like saying that in the second Venom movie, if they never called Cletus Cassidy Carnage, well, we don't know who he is. We fucking know who it is.
But at least he kind of looked like Carnage.
Yeah. Toxin was weird. Toxin almost reminded me of They should have been some kind of weird water spirit from God of War or something.
Yeah, I'm like, why did they make him have the serpent?
That was
just kind of weird.
He also got fucking dick stomped.
That's what my whole problem. That's what
Right.
I had a problem with. You had this whole buildup from the last movie just for him to get just fucking offed, just in a split second by the fucking xenophage. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Also, what's up with the Speed Force symbiote?
That's a good question. I don't know. There's a lot of symbiotes in this movie that I don't even know about, and that's what's Phage. But does she have speed? I don't think she had speed, and I don't remember Because it's the Life Foundation.
Yeah, it's the Life Foundation. That's where.
So
Riot
they all
comes
kind
from.
of like
So
act as a group.
And the first Venom movie, we
yeah.
got Riot from the Life Foundation, but there's supposed to be like 4 more.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Riot, Phage, Lasher,
Scream,
Agony, and Scream. Scream is usually the outlier.
She is. She's the one that stands out more than Riot.
Yeah.
So who's the one that like the second in command scientist, the Sweet Christmas?
Who's that supposed to be? I have no idea.
They got like a really cool green symbiote.
Yeah.
They got like the second coolest symbiote. Like
I thought that was supposed to be like a female Lasher.
Maybe. But who's the first coolest?
Venom.
What?
In this movie?
Yeah.
In terms of like action?
Well, I will say the big moment for
the first
Venom
movie
is the absorb, right?
Yeah.
When he absorbs all the fucking
first
guys.
scene is the coolest.
No, to me it's definitely the end. But like yeah, I mean I'm just saying though, like out of all the like side symbiotes or whatever, like
those other ones were I'm not too like I'm not too familiar with. I think they were made for the movie.
She was doing the thing where she like had all the spikes and she was stabbing the
That's why I was thinking that that's what Lasher is.
Oh, okay, because she fought the fucking xenophage for like way longer.
I think that she got the Lasher. I think unofficially she got the Lasher one.
If we knew her name, we could probably piece it together more easily. But I have no idea. It was still a weird call how they kept going back to the whole Christmas thing.
That was like even when she got absorbed, like turned into the symbiote, they focused in on her fucking tree on her lab coat. I'm like, is there going to be some kind of like payoff or callback to that? I'm like, they never like what is the significance?
I have questions. I have questions about like them keeping those symbiotes. Like, first of all, how long have they been locked up?
For real.
And secondly, like, because
did they get them from the Life Foundation?
Well, I assume so, but you have to remember, symbiotes die if they're not attached to a host for too long. They starve. And Venom, but they also typically kill their host and move on to the next. Mm-hmm. Venom is just an outlier.
Yeah. That was supposed to be because he has symbiosis with Eddie.
Yeah.
You know, and that was, but Carnage worked because Carnage was made from
it's the
Cletus.
Child. He's also the child of Venom.
That too, and that toxin is the child of
Carnage. Yeah,
and he's supposed to be more powerful than both of them because he's the thousandth of their bloodline.
Yeah, it's a fucked up family tree.
It's like
I see.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the travel in this movie that makes no fucking sense.
Where do they start?
So they start in Tijuana.
Okay.
Because that's where we were told that they were in No Way Home.
Yeah, No Way Home.
Okay.
And credit.
Now, then they get on a plane, which is a Airbus 430. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
Technically, it's an A430.
Oh.
But, you know. Now, they end up, I guess they aren't on the plane for very long. Mm-hmm. Because they end up in the Nevada desert somewhere. They're trying to get to New York.
Yeah.
Then the hippies, non-derogatory, take them.
Fucking hippies. These dirtbag hippies.
Hippies. Take them west
to Vegas.
And then to Area 51. Well, the hippies don't take them there.
Yeah.
The hippies go there separately.
Right.
They get forcefully taken there. Now, let me also state that in the third act of the movie, there's a scene where Eddie gets on like it's not a moped, but it ain't a motorcycle either. It's like
Scooter.
a souped up moped / weak motorcycle. It's somewhere in there. And he's outrunning the xenophage on the motorcycle. The top speed of an A430 is 578 miles per hour. And so, like, this thing can catch
How
one.
the fuck do you know this exact? That's a very...
Are you doubting the number?
No, I'm not doubting it.
Because that's
I'm just like wondering where you got this specific
like.
information.
Well, I looked it up because the movie made this very grave error.
Fair enough.
So this thing can catch this airplane that's going over 500 miles per hour, but it can't catch Eddie on the scooter.
Okay, maybe D&D logic here. It has a flying speed of fuck all, but a walking speed of like 20.
I don't think they can
feet.
fly though at all.
It jumped at that fucking airplane.
They fucking got in the air somehow.
Yeah, maybe their jump speed, their jump distance
is better than the
just
Hulk.
insane. They have a walk speed of like 30, but their jump is like 6,000.
Right.
You gotta make sacrifices somewhere.
Something ridiculous, yeah.
They did some bullshit to stack like the jump spell with like the boots of springing and stepping or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. It all just stacks.
Yeah.
But no, that is a very valid point. Like, what's stopping them from catching?
One thing I did notice and was kind of wondering about is them trying to get New York. I was wondering, is that them kind of hinting towards Spider-Man?
Maybe.
I don't know why I said it like that, but
that's where my mind went to. I'm like, hey, you know who else is in New York? Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I think they also kind of we're trying to like really hit home that this was not in the MCU as well. Mm-hmm. You know, they're back in their world.
Yeah.
Because the Statue of Liberty would have had the shield. See?
Shit, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, huh? Yeah. Also,
I don't remember that at all.
Would it have bothered you?
You don't remember the Statue of Liberty having the Captain America shield?
No, I don't remember that.
Have you seen No Way Home at all?
I did, but I don't remember
So
that.
the fight at the end that he has with Green Goblin is on top of that shield.
Yeah,
I'll be damned.
The Statue of Liberty doesn't fare well in superhero movies. Like Wolverine defaced it in the first
Oh,
X-Men
yeah.
movie. You know?
Yeah, I mean, this is the best it's ever.
Yeah.
Didn't Mr. Freeze fuck it up in Batman and Robin?
Oh, I think he did. Yeah.
And Ghostbusters.
Oh,
They're not superhero movies, but
Well, they used it to travel.
it actually got an upgrade in Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
If you want
and then Cloverfield fucked it up pretty good.
Yeah.
Independence Day.
Independence Day. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't do too
That
well.
poor lady.
Yeah, she been through some shit. Anyway, would it have bothered you guys if Eddie, at the beginning of the movie, never got teleported back to his dimension and stayed where he was?
Yes.
I mean, I think they already showed that in the end credits of Venom 2 that he went back.
They did. And then
But-
they just kind of...
They
No.
redid it, but it was in a
Not Venom
different
2,
way.
Far From Home.
In the Far From No Way Home.
No Way
Way
Home.
Home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
But it was even in a different way. He kind of disappeared. But this one, he went into a portal. It doesn't matter.
I think he went into a portal in No Way Home, too.
Did
He didn't just, like, randomly disappear.
I thought he just randomly disappeared, kind of like Andrew and Toby did.
I didn't think they randomly disappeared either. I don't know. Maybe I need to go back and watch it. Here's some ASMR for the homies, though.
Oh,
Anyway.
Always a wonderful sound.
Gets their dicks hard.
what else happened that's spoilerific in this movie? Yeah. So what does Eddie do from here now that Venom made that sacrifice play, and he got melted?
That's what I'm wondering. Because they at the end, they still teased that Noel is still coming. So are they trying to tease that for some kind of... And I thought, my hopeful thinking, is that Noel was going to be in this movie a lot more than he was.
No, I'm actually... so let me tell you now. This movie was topping out at a 5 if Noel got fucked. Mm-hmm. So, like...
Oh, yeah, I know.
If they had killed him or
done
him stupid...
I get what you mean. That he should not be like just a random bad guy with one movie and getting offed in one movie.
I think he's going to continue in the MCU.
I'm still mad.
That's bold.
That means I might, if Venom comes back somehow, some way.
Well,
Do you think?
there is... So, like, Venom dying here gives you the chance to get a legit 616 Venom.
Yeah.
With
Because-
Tom Hardy? Do you think they'll put,
No. Because a piece of the symbiote is still in 616.
It's true. Technically, it is.
I mean, I guess Tom Hardy could go there and get it, but that would be fucking dumb.
Yeah, it would be right.
I think he's done. Like,
yeah.
I hope not.
I kind of hope he is. I mean, to be honest, like, because he did his own thing with his own, Venom and his own version of it.
Do you think the next Venom will be Eddie Brock?
I hope so.
yeah, hopefully a more accurate Eddie Brock, because they already have a Flash Thompson.
Yeah.
And I can't really see him venoming it up.
No. And it's not a very accurate Flash Thompson.
The Spider-Man 2 game used Harry.
Yeah. Venom was actually 20 feet tall in that movie or game, whatever.
But I'm cool on that too. I don't need Harry being Venom.
No.
I also would really love the Secret Wars Deadpool drives him insane scene.
Oh, Back in Black?
Yeah,
we do need that as a actual canon in the MCU.
Do you think that part of the deal that was inked with Sony and Disney is that after this Venom movie, MCU has the rights or current license to use Venom?
Yeah, I would say Venom, Null, Carnage.
That would be great.
Because, I mean, they have to do... If they don't do it in this... I mean, like, the thing that would be the easy home run, right, for this next Spider-Man movie would be for them to do the black suit.
Yeah.
Because you've got Peter, he's isolated, right?
Yeah.
He's lost all his friends. Nobody knows anything about Peter Parker.
Right.
He's alone, right? He's already in this situation where he probably feels awful about his decisions. Mm-hmm. Like,
and he's poor.
He's
broke.
broke. You know what I'm saying? So him at this incredibly difficult part of his life, like he's not. I mean, Spider-Man might be an Avenger, but he's fucking not.
Yeah.
He's lost all of his mentors.
Yeah.
That he's had. Happy, Doctor Strange, Tony. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have Ned. He doesn't have MJ. So, honestly, like, that's the absolute best time for the symbiote to come along.
I agree.
What if Von Doom becomes his next mentor?
No. No, as a matter of fact, Tom Holland is the only reason that casting is worth a fuck. Right? Because there's going to be a moment where the helmet's going to come off, and he's going to be there. And that's going to be amazing.
If he even looks like he does, like, normally. Like, they might do something to alter.
Could be disfigured.
No, I think he will be disfigured, but it'll be enough to where
you can
recognize him, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think Peter's next friend / mentor / kind of team up partner, it's got to be Daredevil, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. And
honestly, it would be a cool thing to have Matt kind of be the voice of reason. Like, hey, I know this new suit you got is like really powerful, but I don't, can't you kind of see the cost of it,
right?
And like that would be an interesting thing to explore for him to be that kind of voice of reason. Like, yeah, man, really powerful, cool new suit, but it comes with a cost, that kind of thing.
Just take that shit off. If symbiotes were real, right, and if people had access to them, a lot of people would succumb a lot easier than Peter did, right? But there is a way to get people to take it off. You have to treat it like Black Dynamite did with Anaconda malt liquor. You have to tell them that shit make your dick small, like and then everybody is ripping off the symbiote.
No, not today.
It's like the gluten.
Yeah, it's like the gluten. Yeah. Oh shit,
man, that's crazy.
So, but what do you put Noel in the MCU?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, where is the space for him?
I mean, obviously, right? Like, are they going to use him in Secret Wars? I mean, because you can't. I mean, Noel's an Avengers threat.
Yeah.
Like that. You can't.
Would he take the place of the Beyonder?
That's possible.
That is a possibility. But I don't feel like the MCU is going to pass up using the Beyonder.
Yeah.
I can't see Noel making a Battle World, though. if they do that concept. You know, Beyonder likes to, fuck with shit.
Though.
Noel does not.
That maybe they're thinking ahead, because if the result of Secret Wars is one universe, then that means they brought Noel in.
That's true.
And maybe even that frees him.
That could.
Either that or, you do an Eddie Brock story and have him get killed or whatever, resurrected. Now he's a Codex.
Yeah.
And Noel comes for him,
right.
And gets it this time. But I mean, this is going to be like, this is all have to be post Secret Wars. But I'll be honest with you, that's a brilliant way to go ahead and tee up this next big bad that you've already, begun to establish.
Right. That would be the move, I think. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Because that's got to be that has to be the way Secret Wars ends, right? That has to be the end of the multiverse.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's got to be one universe after that. I mean, everything combined. Yeah. I think that's what you do there. And then, like you said, at that point, if we are right with these negotiations and deals, then MCU has Noel in their back pocket.
Yeah.
And they can play that card whenever they feel like.
And they already have Sentry to fucking kill.
If they do that, they have to call the movie Null and Void.
Yeah. I was going to go for it. You beat me to it. His face. I was just thinking about that the other day too.
I hate you, Dad. So much.
Oh shit!
But no,
that's great.
That's what that's what I would do. Because obviously after Secret Wars, we are all thinking, yeah, we're going X-Men, right?
Yep.
But it doesn't hurt to have another, awesome big bad in your back pocket. And they can cast whoever they want. I mean, Andy Serkis is a great choice, though.
Yeah.
You can't really tell it's him that much.
I mean, because it was a completely CG model that they used for the face.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I mean, even that CG model, it looked good. It was a good placeholder, just like they did with Thanos. At the end of Avengers 1, it was.
It's definitely reminiscent of Thanos, for sure.
Yeah. So it's something about a villain's going to be a real dick to deal with if they're sitting in a chair. You
gotta have that throne.
You gotta have the throne.
I fucking got it. Deadpool puts on the symbiote, right? They got to get it off of him. Mm-hmm. So Thor hits the shield with Mjolnir.
No.
And it blasts it off of him. Mm-hmm. And they think that Deadpool's dead, and that's why Thor picks him up, and that's why Thor was holding him. Because he thinks that them knocking the symbiote off of him killed him.
Perfect.
That's why he was crying.
But that would mean that they would think that Deadpool can die.
I mean, they don't know that he can't.
Thor is pretty sure he could kill Deadpool.
Yeah.
If he tosses him into a dying star, I'm pretty sure that's it.
They know him, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, or Thor could just hit him with Mjolnir until
there's nothing left.
Still pulls himself back together.
But the thing of it is, even if this version of Deadpool can do that, they don't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, Thor doesn't know shit about him.
But would Thor cry about it?
That is the question.
If he thinks he just killed somebody, yeah, I mean, he might would.
If they become buddies.
He cried over a fucking...
They would become buddies.
Yeah, probably.
The only person that actually likes Deadpool is Captain America.
I don't think he likes Deadpool.
Yeah,
apparently that's canon. That's the only person that actually is friends with Deadpool. Likes his company.
Captain America, he's very tolerable.
Yeah, he's just polite.
He tolerates a lot.
Yeah, he's just polite. That's all that is.
Now, Thor and Cap are really good buddies because they actually have more in common than people think. They're both displaced from time, don't fit in, men of war. So those two actually get along very well.
Yeah, I'm liking this. This is how I'd go with it.
Do you think that a possibility, pipe dream, of a Deadpool and Spider-Man movie where the symbiote does come into play, gets on Wade, becomes insane.
That's got to be a throwaway, and not a throwaway, but it's got to be something they do in Secret Wars. You know,
and then we can get our Thor crying scene. He thinks they're not gonna make good on that. Isn't that insane?
Is it insane?
Yeah,
it's the whole multiverse of
everything
shit happening.
in Deadpool is a gag. And like
that's
why you got to think of everything. But I would not put that past them to make that canon. And that Ryan Reynolds is going to make sure that they make that canon.
It's just supposed to be a fun gag. Like, oh, look at Thor crying over Deadpool. No, it is hilarious.
I do think they're going to make it.
And they might. I'm just saying, I don't give a shit if they do.
They must.
I don't care.
The internet demands it.
I would.
It's like how we demanded that Robert Downey Jr. make a fucking Sherlock reference at Benedict Cumberbatch, and we waited so long for that, and we finally got it.
It's true. I will say it would make me very happy if they follow through with that.
And I don't know if you picked up on that, by the way, that the Sanctum is on Bleecker Street in the MCU.
I did not.
Yeah.
That is very clever. What is not clever is that the dance number in this goddamn Venom.
It's so fucking bad.
I love the shit out of it.
Yeah, it was very Commander Shepard for a lot of it.
But y'all thought we forgot, huh?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like, is there a dance number in Mass Effect?
Listen, I refuse to explain things to you that you should know. It was just he dances awkwardly.
Yeah, it's the Shepherd Shuffle.
Yeah.
I haven't played Mass Effect.
We know. Yeah, or Baldur's Gate 3, or
Don't you have Baldur's Gate 3?
I do.
He bought the Ultra Mega edition.
You waited almost a year,
and then he bitched about it for 6 months about it being delayed, and then he got it and still hasn't played it.
I'm waiting for the crossplay.
Why?
I want to play with people.
No, dog. You should play it by yourself first.
Yeah, do like you're already doing. Play with yourself.
Yeah,
I am with my robots.
Yeah, you should definitely play Baldur's Gate 3 all the way by yourself, because you really don't want to experience it with other people making bullshit choices.
Fair enough. That's true.
Yeah, enjoy your own playthrough first.
Right now, I'm playing with my giant mech robots in Armored Core 6.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, I'm not done ripping on this stupid ass dance scene.
This is mad. I knew you were so mad about that movie. I thought I looked over like.
Listen, I am nothing if not consistent. All right, they put that dance number in this scene as a bullshit way to have the xenophage catch the track of Venom again.
There could have been a million different reasons to.
No, there could have been a million different ways that they got to that conclusion. But having him just dance, and I'm like,
it is on brand. So, it's not like it's not on brand.
This version of Venom is so goddamn dumb that it's unbearable sometimes.
He can be goofy, but I did notice that in the comics, like reading back, that he does kind of have this.
Don't try to justify this. Venom in the comic books, he has at times those goofy moments because he doesn't understand or care about Earth culture, and it's not like that is his character. His character is still all about survival.
The thing in this movie is like that they had Venom explicitly sit Eddie down and be like, "No, Eddie, this is for real serious. Like, I cannot come out because it will attract the thing." And granted, there's like one or two times that they do it where it's like, if he doesn't do it, then Eddie's going to die or someone else is going to die. And like, that makes sense. But for him to just full tilt transform, knowing that it's going to attract this thing, to fucking dance in a hotel room is ridiculous. That entire scene should be cut.
Who thought that was like a good choice?
Well, and see, there you have it.
And you wonder why you don't have your homie tag back. I was thinking about it.
Damn it.
You know,
Some bullshit.
I also
Nothing.
I really love the setup for the casino scene, and I thought the casino scene was going to be dope until I saw how they actually played it, and that shit was awful. When everything up until he sits down at the slot machine was awesome.
Yeah.
Once he sits down at the slot machine, you could cut the next 12 minutes out of this movie
Yeah.
because it was absolutely stupid, every bit of it.
Just assume that the people that came by and swooped up Eddie and the symbiote. All right, they just found them happenstance.
Yeah, I mean, as a matter of fact, for those of you who are still listening and haven't seen it yet, if you want a pee break, that's the time to take it.
Yeah, yeah, you can go to the pee break right after Eddie smacks the shit out of that guy.
That shit was awesome. Actually, I really liked the soundtrack and shit when he walked into the casino, though.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
But as soon as he sits down, go take that pee break, get you some snacks, call your mother, whatever.
yeah. Do whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
All right, well, guys, it's getting late, and I do have to go to work. We need to go ahead and wrap this one up,
Wrap it up, B.
Wrap it up, B.
Dave Chappelle.
Better wrap that gavel up, B.
Closing thoughts and feelings about Venom 3. Does this feel like a satisfactory conclusion to everyone here?
I will say a very simple yes. I was very pleased with how this
Maybe
ended.
I'm just mad that it's ended. But I thought it was a very abrupt ending. I don't know if it was worthy. Especially the kind of the ending kind of montage. I'm like, there's got to be more to it than just like abruptly going into a montage after like I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm bitter. Like, no, there's no way he's just gonna die and that's gonna be it. Like that's from just him killing some xenophages. I don't know. That's me. I enjoyed the rest of the movie.
Yeah. Again, like I've been saying, there's a lot about this movie that I think is actually really decently done. And I think that, again, this is definitely hands down the best of the Venom movies. So if you guys are on the fence about it, I won't tell you to go spend the whole $20, but if you want to go during the matinee, for sure, go check it out. Get that discount price going.
It's definitely worth a watch, for sure.
It is.
You'll have fun with it.
Yeah. And there is a lot
Even
of
if
fun
you
to be
don't.
had with this movie, and there's some cool moments in it. That dance scene is dumb as hell. But, outside of that, most of the movie you can really keep and digest and have fun with. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed Venom: The Last Dance. But if you didn't, then hopefully you enjoyed hearing us speak about The Last Dance.
Also, fuck them for calling it that. I don't think I got to iterate that enough.
I'm with you now. I'm with you now simply because The Last Dance was him dancing literally with the lady.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How fucking contrived.
It was.
I love it just because it pisses you guys off, and that was the whole purpose.
That's not.
That was the
new
whole
for
purpose behind the whole.
That's not new for this podcast. For someone to love something because I hate it. All right.
That's true. I do it all the time. But like the fact that they named it this was disrespectful as fuck. And it would be. I mean,
To who?
To like the existence of truth. Like the Last Dance is literally associated with the greatest basketball team, I would say maybe arguably the greatest sports team in the history of ever. And for you to use that moniker for this movie, even though it doesn't necessarily play into it, I mean, let's be honest. All three of these Venoms could be, Venom the gray one, Venom the red one, Venom a bunch of them. Like, I mean,
Venom, a bunch of them.
The Venom bunch.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Venom bunch.
Da-da.
The Venom bunch.
But fuck them for calling it that. And I might would have given this closer to a 7 if they had named the movie something different.
I'm rating mine to an 8 because they did.
All right, it's too late.
It's too late. You can't change that shit.
The score has been committed to the homie committee already, so nothing
Fine.
to do.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
And if you would want to amend your score, you have to chisel that shit in metal.
Yeah.
So it can't be changed. And then you have to give it to the committee. And then it will take 60 to 90 business days for them to get back to you.
And they will get back to you, notifying you that they are currently processing your request.
Yeah.
And they will have an answer for you. Yeah.
And let me tell you, they're not going to change that shit.
They never have.
I've tried several times.
Yeah. They don't do that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, worth a try.
Good luck. I'm gonna see about processing your homie status. I can't make you any promises.
All right.
You know, I can't make you any promises. I thought you did very, very well here tonight, but you know the homie committee they're sticklers, man. You know?
Yeah.
Was it the Venom dance that
Yeah.
That's not helping your case.
We're not going to bring it up, but they probably going to watch the episode back. So there's nothing we can really do about that. And, you know, you know, they haven't even approved Hans Zimmer for the Homie Awards yet.
And that's, you know.
And so going through all that.
Yeah.
Still, how long has it been?
Since the last one.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Last year, yeah. So, you know, we're going to see.
I'll take a number. Shit.
I mean, voting may get underway before we even have a conductor.
Yeah.
So.
And that's going to put us in a tough spot, but we'll see. We'll make it work.
We'll see.
I have multiple reasons to.
Well, homies, that's going to be it for this one. Again, thank you guys for sticking around. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We had a blast here tonight. As always, it has been a pleasure. But until next time, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
I'm still Brendan.
I'm Superhero Homie Caleb.